Yellowjacket men coming off of two GNAC victories on the road last week. Marc, you led the team to a couple of wins. Talk about how good it felt to go out on the road and come back with two good results.
Oh, it feels really good because, that was one of our goals we set before the season, to sweep a GNAC road trip, because as long as, I've been here, Jace, Coach Stevens, all the coaches, we haven't swept a road GNAC trip, and that was our first time. So, and it was also, me and Jace's first time winning at Western Washington. So that was a good thing for us. So now we just got to take this momentum we have and carry over to Thursday.
You led all players with 28 points in the win over Western Washington. Talk about how well you were shooting the ball. The whole team shot the ball well the whole road trip.
Well, mainly our focus mainly was defense and rebounding. Like, we didn't really talk about like our offense that much. So those are the things we mainly focused on, and we did those things pretty well, and it carried over to the offensive end.
Now, you've scored 20 points or more in your last four games, something only six players in the GNAC have done this year. What has led you to be playing your best basketball, really, of your career as of late?
Honestly, I've been really focusing on the defensive end and worried about, making sure I'm guarding the ball well, making sure I'm in help side. And if I'm doing those things, it's all I'm carrying over to the offensive end, and I'm playing well in that end too.
That's right. You also led the team with 8 rebounds in the win over Western Washington. So getting it done on both ends, that led to your second GNAC Player of the Week honor of the season. To get that award twice, and it's the third one for the team now. Just talk about a little bit about what that means to be singled out.
I mean, it's an honor because, this is a tough conference, one of the toughest conferences in Division II. And to get, my second Player of the Week, and Preston also has one, shows, all the hard work we're doing in practice, all the stuff behind the scenes is paying off.
Talk about what you'll be focusing on this week. You've mentioned defense and rebounding. That's really been the key. You have two more tough GNAC games, Central Washington Thursday and NNU Saturday, but you start a 4-game homestand.
We just got done with practice, mainly the practice. We kind of went through everything, offense, defense, make sure help side, everything's there, because these two teams coming in, we just got to be ready to go, because anybody can beat anybody in the league. So if we don't play our game like we have been, then they can come in and beat us. So we just got to be ready and prepared, ready to go.
Yeah, that was probably the most exciting thing is, we had 19 days between games, and we had a full 11 days off. I know most teams had, their normal 7, but we had a full 11 days completely away from the guys, 19 days between games. And, we told the guys before the break, said, listen, when you get back on the 27th, it's just going to be business as usual. We're going to go at it like we hadn't taken a day off. And I think the guys, I think they went home and took care of business, and hopefully they had some fun and some relaxation, but they also looked like they came back ready to go. And, it felt like that we didn't miss any time. There's still a lot of things we got to clean up, a lot of things we got to get better, but the thing I'm most excited about is just how unselfish they are right now with each other, and they're really playing well together.
We knew how powerful this team could be offensively, but it wasn't necessarily showing early in the year, citing a 54-50 loss to Cal State East Bay. But you look at the games last week, you put up 100 points in back-to-back games for the first time in a decade in this program. What's been the difference over the last month? Why are things clicking now?
It's hard to say. I know we look back, and it was 8 games ago, and we scored 50 points against East Bay and at home, and it was 54-50. And East Bay is a very good team. Obviously, you look at their record. They've been winning a lot of games, but I still remember just coming in that following. I think we came in the next day because we had to go on the road, and we really didn't come in and talk anything. We didn't talk much about shooting. Really, the emphasis became, we really started focusing on offensive rebounding, and we talked to the guys about, we weren't shooting the ball very well, and instead of being down about that is using that as an opportunity to, if you're not going to shoot the ball very well, there's some chances to get offensive rebounds. And we really spent a lot of time just talking about that, talking about being aggressive, going to the boards. And for whatever reason, the last 8 games, we've just shot it really well. I think some of that talk about the rebounding has taken some of the guys' minds off the fact, shooting the basketball. And I just think they're playing free. I think they're understanding that, even if when you're missing shots, it's an opportunity to get offensive rebounds. And for whatever reason, they're just shooting the ball really well. Obviously, they're sharing it. They're playing together as a group, and I think they're starting to gain some confidence. But like I previously said, we got a long ways to go. There's a lot of areas we got to get better. And the next the next round of games are going to be extremely challenging.
Talk about how proud you are of your senior leaders, 2 5-year guys that are really carrying you. Marc Matthews scoring at will, playing the best basketball of his career right now, and Jace Anderson to come back a year after being injured and to be playing the way he is right now.
Well, I think the neat thing is we have depth at those guard positions. Jace didn't, against Simon Fraser, he didn't, we didn't need a lot from him, and he was, he had taken that 19 days off, and he's coming off that knee injury, and his knee was bothering him. Just because of the break and then jumping right back into it. So we didn't need a lot out of them, but, we have guys like Cinco Dur and Sven Yoshida that are really stepping up. Kendall Denham's playing as probably the best basketball of his career, too. And then on Saturday, Jace was rested, and it's one of those things that we have 4 or 5 different guards right now that we're comfortable with playing at any point. And one of those things, it's just sometimes you just have to try to find the right rotation, and so any of those guys can step up. Like you said, Mark's playing as good as he's played, but I think several guys are. I think Jace is playing. Jace probably isn't at this level he was at last year, but he's sneaking close. Kendall and Sven are clearly at playing as well as they've played as college basketball players. And then, you got to give the bigs credit. Kamal does, Kamal, Zach, and Cade do a lot of the dirty stuff. They're great screeners. They control they're doing a nice job inside. And then, Preston makes it all go. Having Preston out there, he makes everybody better just because of what he's able to do. So right now the group's playing well together, but it's another week. And, our focus is Thursday now, and our focus is today, actually getting better in practice. But then, the next game we're focusing on is Thursday.